وقال المصنف رحمه الله والجنة والنار مخلوقتان. Paradise and hell have been created and will never perish or pass away.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. This is point number 88. And the author rahimahullah ta'ala mentioned in the previous point that people will be resurrected, and he mentioned the main events that will take place at the day of resurrection. And at the end of the day of resurrection, people will be divided, the people of Jannah and the people of Nar, as Allah Jalla wa Ala mentioned this in numerous ayat in the Quran. And then the author rahimahullah ta'ala mentioned that the Jannah and the Nar are both created. What does he want to say? He wanted to say that Allah Jalla wa Ala has already created the Jannah, paradise, and He Jalla wa Ala has already created the fire of hell. And while we are living now, the Jannah is there somewhere and the fire is there somewhere. They are already created. And there is a place called the Jannah, and the Jannah has hur'in, according to many scholars, and they are there now. And the Jannah and the mountains of Jannah and the rivers of Jannah, everything or most of the things mentioned in the Quran about the Jannah are already there, created, and the Jannah is waiting for the people, the believers, to enter it. Similarly, the hellfire, with either everything mentioned about it in the Quran or most of the things mentioned about it in the Quran is there, okay, and it is somewhere, and it is ready for the disbelievers and those who commit sins. And this is the opinion that all Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah agreed upon. In fact, some people say that most of the sects of Muslims believe on this. Some philosophers, as well as Jahmiyyah, disbelieve in this, and they say that the Jannah and the Nar will be created. They are not created, because they say, what is the point, what is the wisdom of having the Jannah and the Nar there? And unfortunately, they are comparing Allah Jalla wa Ala and His ability with the human beings and their ability. And they say if a person builds a house and he doesn't want to live in it and he just leave it, is waste of time, waste of money, etc. And they did not remember that Allah Jalla wa Ala is able to create anything by what? As Allah Jalla wa Ala said in the Quran, كُن فَيَكُونُ إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا أَرَادَ شَيْئًا أَن يَقُولَ لَهُ كُن فَيَكُونُ. So just by saying kun, the whole Jannah has been created. Same thing for the hellfire. And also, there are so many benefits that the Jannah is there and the hellfire is there. The person will be motivated and he will be so keen to be in that paradise, and the person will be so keen to run away from the fire of hell. In the Quran, there are many ayat that confirm that the Jannah is there. أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. أُعِدَّتْ means has been prepared for the righteous people. About the fire of hell, Allah Jalla wa Ala said, أُعِدَّتْ لِلْكَافِرِينَ, has been prepared for the fire of hell. إِنَّ جَهَنَّمَ كَانَتْ مِرْصَادًا. Jahannam was a mirsad, waiting for the disbelievers. And so on. And you know, in the ahadith, there are many ahadith that talk about the existence of Jannah now. Okay, for example, when the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith of Al-Mi'raj, and he went to Jannah and he saw what is in Jannah. Also in the dream, and the dream of the Prophet ﷺ is haqq, that he saw the Jannah and he saw a palace of so and so on for so and so in Jannah. many ahadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that the person will be put in the grave, and the grave will be part of Jannah or will be part of the fire of hell, or when a door or a window will be opened for the believer to Jannah, and will be open for the disbeliever in the fire of hell. Yes?
I'll continue the point, Jack.
Okay, so anyway, it is confirmed that the Jannah and the Nar, both of them are created. Okay, was this the end of this point?
I'll read the rest of it. لا تفنيان أبدا ولا تبيدان فإن الله تعالى خلق الجنة والنار قبل الخلق. So paradise and hell have been created and will never perish or pass away. Allah created them before the world.
Yeah, this is the point that we were talking about, that Allah Jalla wa Ala created them before creating the creation. What does the creation mean? Either because they are part of the creation as well. Either before creating human beings or before creating this earth, Allahu A'lam. Because they are part of the creation. So خلق الجنة والنار قبل الخلق. قبل الخلق. Which خلق? Which creation? Either ourselves as human beings who are going to be held accountable and be passed to Jannah and the Nar, or other type of creation. So the point is, they have been created and they are there somewhere. The author rahimahullah ta'ala mentioned one point, a well-known point, that they do not perish or pass away. Now, the Jannah and the Nar has been created. How long are they going to last? All Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah agree that the Jannah will last forever. It will never perish. Okay? Because when Allah Jalla wa Ala mentioned the people of Jannah, Allah Jalla wa Ala said, خالدين فيها ما دامت السماوات والأرض إلا ما شاء ربك عطاء غير مجدود, means bounties from Allah Jalla wa Ala, given from Allah Jalla wa Ala, that it will never come to an end, or it will never cease. And Allah Jalla wa Ala mentioned in a number of ayat in the Quran, خالدين فيها أبدا, خالدين فيها forever. They will dwell there in Jannah forever. Also the Prophet ﷺ, in a number of ahadith, he mentioned that when Allah Jalla wa Ala comes to the people, when Allah Jalla wa Ala sends the people to the paradise and sends the other people to hellfire, Allah Jalla wa Ala will come to them, and Allah Jalla wa Ala will say, Ya Ahl al-Jannati khuludun fala maut. Khulud. Khulud means you will be there forever. And Allah Jalla wa Ala will say that to the people of paradise, khulud. Again, khulud, forever. You will continue there forever. It is eternal and it will not vanish. And there are a number of ahadith that support this meaning as well. Now, having said that, we have to say that some of the scholars of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah believe that the fire of hell will perish at one point. The fire of hell, unlike the Jannah, will perish at one point. And this matter, as you know, the vast majority of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah believe that, as the author said, they will never perish, both of them, the Jannah and the Nar. However, some scholars, as we said, they believe that the Jannah is eternal, while the fire will perish at one point. And they say that when Allah Jalla wa Ala mentioned in some ayat, not in all ayat, like the ayat of Hud, when Allah Jalla wa Ala mentioned the fire of hell, Allah Jalla wa Ala said, خالدين فيها ما دامت السماوات والأرض إلا ما شاء ربك عطاء غير مجدود. And when Allah Jalla wa Ala mentioned the fire of hell, Allah Jalla wa Ala said, خالدين فيها ما دامت السماوات والأرض إلا ما شاء ربك إن ربك فعال لما يريد. So he did not say عطاء غير مجدود. He did not say عطاء, يعني bounties given to them that will never cease. غير مجدود. He did not say will never cease about the fire of hell. So they said that this kind of differentiation means that the fire of hell will come to an end. And also in Surah لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب, Surah Al-Bayyinah, at the end when Allah Jalla wa Ala mentioned about إن الذين آمنوا, when Allah Jalla wa Ala described the believers, خالدين فيها أبدا, they will dwell in the paradise أبدا. However, when he mentioned the fire of hell, خالدين فيها, without أبدا, he did not mention أبدا. Those who want to, those who are memorizing the Quran, they can notice this in order not to mix when they read. So about the fire of hell without abada. So they said that the fact that Allah Jalla wa Ala differentiated between both, it means that the fire of hell will come to an end. And we say that, okay, I don't want to dwell into this point. I don't advise our brothers and sisters to dwell into this point. The two opinions are there. Most of the scholars of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah believe that the fire of hell will come to an end. Yes, one point about the justification or the evidence that those scholars who believe that the fire of hell will come to an end, they believe that Allah Jalla wa Ala said, وَسِعَتْ رَحْمَتُهُ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. The mercy of Allah Jalla wa Ala encompassed everything. So part of the mercy of Allah Jalla wa Ala is to bring the suffering and the punishment of those who are in the fire of hell to an end. When, of course, they say that after millions and millions and millions of years, okay, but it will come to an end because this is what goes with the rahmah of Allah Jalla wa Ala that encompassed everything. And we say that according to Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the vast majority of them, that it will never come to an end. The matter, inshallah, is clear.
وَخَلَقَ لَهُمَا أَهْلًا. He allotted some people for each.
Okay, this statement, وَخَلَقَ لَهُمَا أَهْلًا, that he allotted certain groups for each. What does it mean? It means that Allah Jalla wa Ala knows who are going to the hellfire and who are going to the paradise. And Allah Jalla wa Ala knew them, and Allah Jalla wa Ala created them, and He knows that they are going to end to this. So they have been created, and in the knowledge of Allah Jalla wa Ala, He knew that they are going to end there. So as if they are created for this. Okay, we have to be careful. He did not create them, and He did not deprive them from any ability to choose whether they want to go to paradise or hellfire. No, this is not the meaning. The meaning is He created them, and when He created them, Jalla wa Ala knew everything. The whole world, as we have said before, the whole history is an open book in front of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Allah Jalla wa Ala has no past, no future. Everything is known to Him. Allah Jalla wa Ala sees everything. Sees what has happened and what will happen. So what will happen, this is in our knowledge, what will happen. But for Allah Jalla wa Ala, it is there in front of Him. So Allah Jalla wa Ala, when He created those people who are going to the fire of hell, He sees that He created them and they are going to the fire of hell. So He created them and they are going to the fire of hell. This is the meaning of it. We have to be careful. Otherwise, we will understand that He created people and He deprived them from any choice but to go to fire of hell. And this goes against the justice of Allah Jalla wa Ala, as we mentioned earlier. Okay.
فَمَنْ شَاءَ مِنْهُمْ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ فَضْلًا مِنْهُ وَمَنْ شَاءَ مِنْهُمْ إِلَى النَّارِ عَدْلًا مِنْهُ. To those whom He allotted for paradise, He did so out of His bounty for them. And those whom He allotted for hell, He allotted because it was required by His justice.
Okay. So Allah Jalla wa Ala created people for the paradise, created people for the hellfire, means Allah Jalla wa Ala created them, and He knows that they will end in paradise because of what they are going to do, because of what they are going to decide to do. And the other people who will go to paradise, same thing. So here the author rahimahullah ta'ala says, فَمَنْ شَاءَ مِنْهُمْ إِلَىٰ الْجَنَّةِ فَضْلًا مِنْهُ. Those whom Allah Jalla wa Ala allowed to go to Jannah, this is what? This is the rahmah. What is the fadl of how they translated it?
Bounty.
Bounty. Okay, this is the bounty of Allah Jalla wa Ala that has been granted to them. Otherwise, Allah Jalla wa Ala can deprive them this ability, and they can go to paradise. They can go to hellfire. And then, whoever will go to hellfire, okay, first of all, this is under the Mashiach of Allah Jalla wa Ala, because those people, they are going to their hellfire by their free will, that they have decided themselves to go to hellfire, and Allah Jalla wa Ala allowed them to go to hellfire. Allah Jalla wa Ala could have stopped them from going to the hellfire. This is the Mashiach of Allah Jalla wa Ala. This is Allah Jalla wa Ala permitted them, allowed them, and Allah Jalla wa Ala created the ability for them to commit sins, okay, as He created the ability for them to do deeds, okay, but they decided to do bad deeds, evil deeds, with what Allah Jalla wa Ala has given them. So this is the Mashiach of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Allah allowed them, Allah gave them the permission, Allah gave them the means to commit the bad deeds. So Allah Jalla wa Ala allowed them, gave the permission, the Mashiach. This is the meaning of the Mashiach. Permitted them, allowed them, and Allah Jalla wa Ala also provided them with the means to commit sins in order to go to hellfire, as Allah Jalla wa Ala provided people with other means to go to paradise. So the people who go to paradise, the people who go to hellfire, they are going with their decisions, but within what Allah Jalla wa Ala has given them. And moreover, Allah Jalla wa Ala, if He would decide not to allow them to go to paradise or to go to hellfire, Allah Jalla wa Ala could have done this. Now, for those who chose to go to hellfire, Allah Jalla wa Ala will send them to the fire of hell, but He will be just to them because they have chosen to do bad deeds. So when Allah Jalla wa Ala sends them to the fire of hell, it is out of His justice. He never wronged them. He never been unjust to them. Okay? And we have explained this previously. Okay?
وكل يعمل لما قد فرغ له وصائر إلى ما خلق له والخير والشر مقدران على العباد. Everyone will do what he has chosen for him, and will go to the place for which he has been created. Good and evil both have been determined for each and every person.
Okay. As we said previously when we explained the matter of Qadr, we said that everything is in Qadr is clear. But this particular point, which is mentioned in one of the hadith Ali ibn Abi Talib, when Allah Jalla wa Ala said that Allah Jalla wa Ala created, when Allah Jalla wa Ala, when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sahbihi wa sallam said that ما منكم إلا وقد كتب مقعده من الجنة ومقعده من النار. Every one of you, his place in Jannah has been appointed, and his place in the fire of hell has been appointed, and you can say identified. Okay? So Allah Jalla wa Ala created us, and Allah Jalla wa Ala knows that this person will go to his fire, will go to fire of hell, and this is his place in the fire of hell. And this person will go to paradise, and this is his place in paradise. As we said, this is the knowledge of Allah Jalla wa Ala. So when the Prophet ﷺ mentioned to the Sahaba this, they said, Ya Rasulullah, why do we why do we work? Why do we do deeds in general? If it is known where we are going to end. So the Prophet ﷺ said, no, you should do. This is the first point. When we talk about this, people ignore this part of the hadith, that the Prophet ﷺ said, i'malu. Okay, i'malu, you should do. Okay, فَكُلٌّ مُيَسَّرٌ لِمَا خُلِقَ لَهُ. Each person will do according to what? To the knowledge of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Okay, so the people of the fire of hell, they will do, but remember, whatever they do, it will not be something that Allah Jalla wa Ala didn't know of. Okay, didn't know of. So you don't know where you are going to end, but you are going to end in the place where Allah Jalla wa Ala knew it. This is فَكُلٌّ مُيَسَّرٌ لِمَا خُلِقَ لَهُ. Everyone will end in the place that Allah Jalla wa Ala knew of, and everyone will be given means to reach to the place that Allah Jalla wa Ala knew of. But you, as a human beings, you don't know this. Okay? And you have a choice to do good and to do deeds, but within the circle of knowledge of Allah Jalla wa Ala. This is the meaning of the hadith. We have to be careful, otherwise we might understand that we have no choice but to do the deeds that have been imposed on us. And this goes against the justice of Allah Jalla wa Ala, and it goes against the will that Allah Jalla wa Ala has given us, which has been confirmed in numerous ayat in the Quran and numerous ahadith of the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. And this has been explained, I think, many times, extensively, you can say, in previously. Okay, the matter is clear, inshallah.